I think I was about 16 stone at the time, which isn't that big, but it was for then. And there's three guys in the back who are about 20 stone, another guy who's probably about 25 stone in the passenger seat. And I've got a 1.3 litre Ford Escort. Hey guys, this is Gavin from Health and Performance. Welcome to Training Tales from 1994, where we're making bro science before the bros even existed. So there was an IFBB pro bodybuilder called, an English guy called Ian Harrison, around at the time in the bodybuilding circles, and I think he pretty much peaked around sort of 94 to 96, but so again, it's sort of 90, I think it was 95 by this stage, so I'm 17, which means I can drive, that's great. So Ian Harrison was coming to Folkestone. So Folkestone was like a 10-minute drive, probably 20-minute drive south of the small town I'm from in England. So I can't remember the name of the gym, but I remember it was definitely Folkestone because the crappy old first car I had, because I was one of the nominated drivers, it just about got uphill. So there's a big hill called Folkestone Hill, and it was me. So using old money, I think I was about 16 stone at the time, which isn't that big, but it was for then. And there's three guys in the back who are about 20 stone, another guy who's probably about 25 stone in the passenger seat. And I've got a 1.3 litre Ford Escort going up Folkestone Hill, which is like a gradient like this. And yeah, I was getting a bit worried they wouldn't actually make it to the top. Anyway, we made it to the gym. It was on a Sunday. We went through, everyone was up early on a Sunday morning to make it, and walked into the gym. There's like a whole bunch of people there, and it was basically Ian Harrison and there was a doctor, yes, actually a doctor was kind of part of the team as well. So that made it science, that made it real, so everything was right. And then there was another guy who started a supplement company called Chemical Nutrition. I don't think that exists anymore, but yeah, so it was like so-and-so from Chemical Nutrition, Dr. So-and-so made it real, and Ian Harrison, who was just the biggest human any of us had ever seen, because it was a small town sort of thing. So there's all this talk, and all this stuff around osmosis and fluid moving across the cells, and all us guys were there. We're just kind of like, yeah, so does that happen on sets of 8 or 10? Like, how do you do that? Kind of thing, not really understanding what's going on. And then the moment we actually came for, he was going to train. So the guy who started Chemical Nutrition was actually his training partner and trained him. And I think at the time there was a bit of resurgence of HIIT training. I don't mean HIIT like doing intervals, I mean HIIT as in, work up one all-out set to failure and beyond. And on like 3 exercises or something. So got this like IFBB bodybuilder, competes at Mr. Olympia right in front of us in bloody Folkestone of all places, training his ass off, and would have been hilarious as all of us and others, there's a whole bunch of blokes basically just like stood around the gym in a circle, just doing this like for about an hour and a half while he trained. And it was just, I think he trained back and calves, whether it was meant because it was back and calves or it just happened to be back and calves one day. That didn't matter, because for 3 months, all of us at my gym, we trained back and calves. So it was a back and calf day now. And yeah, it was just crazy. So we're trying to emulate what the bodybuilder was doing, because then we'd be like that, and obviously he's doing it, and there's a doctor there, so that must be the best way to train. So we do a back and calf workout once a week, because you only have one body part per week. And yeah, and I think with the calves, there's a big push he was doing on like slow negatives, or what we just call regular eccentrics nowadays. And he's basically doing the whole stack for this stuff, and yeah, it just blew us away because his calves are massive. So we all went, why don't we just do slow negatives with the whole stack? The only problem is no one can actually do slow negatives on the whole stack. So it was one of those old school sort of standing calf raise machines. So you kind of get under it with pads here, there's a ledge, and you kind of like push up so your legs are straight, and then you're just basically moving your ankles and your foot, going up onto your tiptoes and down again. The only problem is, like I said, none of us were really at that level yet. And so what it just turned into was we're all just kind of get in the bottom, drive it up as like a bit of a quarter squat kind of movement, and then try and resist it as slow as we could, which was about 2 seconds down, then we do it again. So yeah, this sort of back and calf workout pretty much ended up as quarter squats on the calf raise machine, and then try and resist it, but you couldn't, so just nothing worked at all. It was completely useless. But again, it kind of did work because we all just trained our asses off because we wanted to look like Ian Harrison.